क्या फर्क पड़ता है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, पता नहीं, जो थारी राय सो हमारी राय, nothing to do, nowhere to go, देखो सुनो मत बोलो, whenever you are, be 100% कर्नाटक, किसी को आओ मत कहो, किसी को जाओ मत कहो, ना कुछ पाना ना कुछ खोना, who asked you, live at zero, complete level, मौज में रहो, be happy. Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Satyam Jnanamanantam Brahma, Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam, Parame Vyomanna, Soshnute Sarvan Kaman Saha, Brahmana Vipaschiteti. This mantra is from Taittiriya Upanishad, where it is said, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Brahman, what is mentioned in Vedanta, is Paramatma mentioned in Yoga Shastra and Bhagavan mentioned in Bhakti Shastra. Words are three: Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. All of them are mentioning the same reality. There is no doubt about it. So, we are referring to Upanishad, therefore we say Brahman. So, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Brahma means what? Bruhatvat Brahma. And what it is? Satyam, existence. Jnanam, knowledge. And is the knowledge and the existence separate? Or they are one? So, if the knowledge and existence are separate, what will be the problem? If knowledge is other than existence, it means it is non-existent. And if the existence is other than the knowledge, means it is inert. See? Therefore, one has to accept this. Sat and Chit, knowledge and existence, they are not two, they are one. Now, to recognize this, take an example. There is a sweet meat in your plate. For example, Gujarati, so Srikhanda. I will not tell Rasgulla because Bengali. So Srikhanda. Now the Srikhanda is in the plate and you want to eat. But then this 15th chapter is not getting over. Urdhamulamadasyagam Ashwatam Prauram Chandasis. So Srikhanda is existence, taste is knowledge. When they are separate, there is frustration, desire, anger. And when existence and knowledge, they become one. Meaning, you take the Srikhanda, if you want to really enjoy Srikhanda, never eat it with a spoon. Eat it with the finger. So when you take the Srikhanda existence and it lands on the tongue, the knowledge, net result is what? Ananda. Now what is the Ananda? the division between knowledge and existence is disappearing. This is Brahman. Therefore, what is the Brahman? What is the reality? Reality is bliss, Ananda, where differences on account of any criteria are null and void. This is what this mantra tells. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Yod Veda Nihitam Guhayam. He who discovers this divine as his essential nature. Guhayam Nihitam. Guha means the Panchakoshas, the body, prana, etc. He who has discovered this, what happens as a result? Soshnute sarvan kaman saha. All his desires stand fulfilled simultaneously. Saha, simultaneously. Our desires are fulfilled in a sequence. I want to study well. Study. Then second desire, I should get good job. You get a good job. So, one after another desires. But he who knows his divine nature, all desires stand fulfilled simultaneously. Means what? He is left with no desires to be fulfilled. That is what is called as fulfillment in life. And this fulfillment in life, in our happy mantra is nothing to do, nowhere to go. ना कुछ पाना, ना कुछ खोना. Attain fulfillment. See. Now, as a jiva that we are talking about, who is jiva? Jiva is struggling to fulfill his desires, one after another. And he will never come to the point that all his desires stand fulfilled simultaneously. It cannot, because we have not inquired who is jiva, what is jiva. So when we talk about Brahman, reality, we have spoken clearly. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. You are defined. Now what is jiva? In yoga, in karma, in devotion, they don't talk about it. And we take it for granted. See? So inquire. What is jiva? See? So simple, friends. Now take your day-to-day example. It becomes easier. If you take any conditioned expression is an illusion. When we take that illusion as real, we suffer. This is the principle. So man is independent, happy. The conditioned expression of the man is through the limitations of the wife. So who is the husband? Man plus the limitations of the wife, an expression of the infinite blissful man through the limitations, a miserable entity called as husband. That is why it is a word, Hindi word, husband. He whose smiling has disappeared. Hasiband is husband. Now you husbands are laughing here. Laugh before your wife. So if you have to define husband, so who is a husband? Man? No. Woman, a wife? No. Man plus wife, and the expression of the man through the wife is husband. Now out of these three entities, a husband is born. Now out of these three, which is real? If there is no wife available, will there be any loss to the man? No. Will there be a husband possible? No. But if the man is not there, can there be a husband? So in this husband, who is real? Neither the husband nor the wife. The man is real. If this example is clear, Paramatma, man. Prakriti, wife. Expression of Paramatma through the Prakriti is Jiva. Therefore, out of these three, Paramatma, Prakriti, and expression of Paramatma through the Prakriti, out of these three, which is real? Think. Then we come to know nothing to do, nowhere to go. What sadhana, how much intense sadhana a husband has to do, for how long he has to do to be a man. What is the difference between the husband and the man? When the man becomes husband, does he get two horns and a tail? No. Does he have to drop anything? No. Does he have to divorce? No. Then what he should do? Be happy, not because of wife, in spite of wife, you are realize. See, friends, the same is the story of the Jiva. Yes, we have to go through good and bad experiences. Go through. That's a part of the game. But what happens? We get entangled and we become so serious about it. Therefore, friends, vimudha nanu pashanti, pashanti jnana chakshusha. And if you are walking this path sincerely, following things will happen. Number one, you will stop bothering about the world. But you know, ignorant people, if they are not able to do, they are supposed to suffer. Don't become a social worker. Social workers are not spiritual seekers. See? Once I was on Ganges Bank, very nice place in Rishikesh, and enjoying that evening all by myself. And there was one child crying. I don't bother. Why should I? That is his choice. Let him cry. There were three ladies, Teen Deviya. Many people tell me, Swamiji, you are biased against ladies. I said, no. Hindi movies for the ladies is Teen Deviya. And for the gents, Three Idiots. Where is the biasness? Gents are idiots, ladies are Deviya. So there were three Devis. And I was enjoying everything there all by myself, nobody to ask question. These three Devis looked at me. Excuse me? I said, okay, excuse. Why this child is crying? Imagine. So I said, um, what can you imagine? Tell me. Why the child must be crying? One among the three was a mother, other was a doctor, third was a social worker. Mother uvacha, mother said, he must be very hungry. Mothers cannot think except food. Their love is stuff as much as you can in that poor fellow. See, I am telling my direct experience how much these mothers make me miserable. Eat, eat, eat. And if I tell if I'll die, never mind, but you eat. So the mother told, no, he must be poor fellow, hungry, therefore he must be crying. I said, see, you know. The second one was doctor. Doctors cannot think health. Maybe he may be having abdominal colic. The child doesn't understand what is that, but he's crying. The third one was social worker. Started in our country. I said, stop. Social workers can make a mountain out of a sesame seed. But now you tell. I said, you know, look here, I am very simple person. I am not educated like you. Why not we ask the child directly? He is crying here, he is there, ask him. Oh, yes. So we ask, I say, hey, beta, why are you crying? Nothing, time pass. Now tell me, should we say what the child understands? He is crying, he alone can tell the right answer. If you want to know about the world, don't ask me, ask him who created the world. For that, know him. See, friends, moral of the story this. Any topic you take for discussion, it should bring us back to our divine nature. If that is happening, then only we are real sincere seekers of truth. Here also, this topic. Mamaivansho jivaloke jiva bhuta sanatana. So the soul is Paramatma expressing through the Upadhi Panchakoshas as life is called as soul or the jiva. Now, other story that comes, leaving one body, going to other body. Now, the same picture you can see in today's world, we can see through electricity. Electricity expressing through bulb as light. Now, see, this light can illuminate everything. Can this light see or show how the electricity looks like? Cannot. See. If there is no electricity, can there be light? If the bulb becomes fused, will the light from the bulb go to other place? Bulbs may be many, light is one. Bodies may be many, life is one. One bulb is in the temple, other bulb is in the toilet. And a question, Swamiji, what could be the reason why this bulb is in the temple and why this bulb is in the toilet? I have to answer. This bulb in the temple must have done lot of meritorious deeds in the last life. And therefore, he is in this temple. Oh. And what about this bulb in the toilet? Mahapapi terrorist? And therefore, he is in the toilet. By the time this talk is going on, the bulb in the temple fused. Swamiji, what happened? All good people, God likes, he lifts them up. That is okay. But now what we'll do in the temple? Never mind. Take out the bulb from the toilet and fix it there. Swamiji, how come that bulb from the toilet has come over here? Some meritorious deeds must have surfaced. Bluff, oh bluff. If you want to be happy in life, don't ask questions. Don't get lost in cause and effect. I'll tell you one thumb rule. That about which you have no question is the truth. So find out about what you have no question. We have no question about our being. Are you there? Let me think. No. And that is what matters. If you are abiding in yourself, you have no questions. In other words, if you don't unnecessarily ask questions, you are back to yourself. Every question takes you away from yourself. And this is how the jiva is born. Now, light is one, bulbs are many, life is one, bodies are many. When one bulb becomes fused, anything happens in the other lights? No. Because expression of light through the bulb is not individuality. It is a principle. Exactly the same way, expression of life through different bodies is not individuality, it is a phenomenon. And expressions of life are same. As much a man enjoys eating food, whatever food he eats, that much a pig enjoys the filth that he eats. See, friends, the satiation of hunger is common in total creation. Anger, greed, everything is common because these are the expressions of life. Life wise, we are one, body wise, we are many. And who is miserable? The bodies are miserable. And therefore, this principle of jiva is brought to our cognition only to tell us that we are someone other than the body. And then find out who is that. And then we are told we are jiva. Now don't stop there. Go further inquiry. What is the meaning of jiva? Establish the value of jiva. Then we come to know jiva is a fictitious thing, not real. See? And therefore, this important topic, therefore, we cannot stop getting identified with the body. We cannot stop. It will happen. Now, the next topic or next choice is, do we take this body identification as real or fictitious? Like the example in the mirror, we also see, the dog also sees. We don't take reflection in the mirror as real, therefore we don't suffer. The dog takes it as real, he suffers. Ignorant people like us, they suffer because they take body identification real. The great masters, they also function through the body, but they don't suffer. When Bhagwan Ram Krishna Paramahamsa was having, toward the end of his life, the cancer, his devotees to tell, why don't you tell the mother to stop you from suffering? He had a problem. He said, I am not suffering. Body is suffering. We cannot understand it. See, therefore, jiva is expression of Paramatma through the body. This is exactly what in the 13th chapter Bhagavan said. Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. Hey Arjun, I am alone expressing in and through all the things and beings. Are there different electricities? Behind the bulb, there is a light electricity. Behind the fan, there is a magnetic electricity. Behind the heater, it is a hot electricity. Behind the fridge, the cold electricity. No. Same. The differences are on account of the gadgets which are fixed. When we thus march from the conditioned to the condition free experience. What is condition free experience? Pramana nirapeksha anubhuti. That experience which does not involve sense organs, mind, and intellect. When sense organs are not involved, you cannot talk about, oh, I saw bright light coming. Flicker of mind. I heard divine music. Nothing to do with it. Or else, I felt, see, it's so, wow. In being, you cannot talk in any language. Therefore, pramana nirapeksha, that experience which does not involve any means of knowledge. What are the means of knowledge? Three: sense organs, mind, and intellect. So, if we drop the sense organs, then I have seen God came and disappeared, and I am searching. Then mind. I felt so much. No. See? And then intellect. That actually, what actually? Chup. Yato vacho nivartantya prapya manasasa. Where from all your faculties become important. That you are. And see, it is so simple. Every moment you can recognize this. If things are added in front of my eyes, is it a burden? No. If all are removed, is it a loss? No. Is it not our experience? Waking is added during the waking. What do we gain? In the dream is added. What we have lost? Have we lost waking? No. In the deep sleep, both are lost, but we are still there. Therefore, the topic of Jiva, moral of the story, is inquire and discover you are divine, not that you are a Jiva. The topic of world, inquire and you are untouched by the world. Asanga shastrena drudena chitva. Our attachment is an illusion. Then comes the spiritual practice, 5 of them. Nirvana moha, jita sanga dosha, adhyatma nitya nivritta kama, dvandvar vimukta sukha dukkha sanjay. That is spiritual practice. See, nowhere it is said, do ekadashi and dvadashi. See, friends, nayamatma balahine labhya. This truth is not for those who are touch me not brand. You know, touch me not brand? You take that syrup, touch it. No. Therefore, the moral of the story is the topic of Jiva is to bring us to our essential nature, and it is for whom? It is only for them. Vimudha nanu pashanti jnana chakshusha. After having said this, then one caution is given in the 11th mantra. Yatanto yoginaschainam pashantyatmanyavasthitam yatantopyakrutaatmanaha nainam pashyantya chetasaha. Yatantaha yoginaha enam atmani eva avasthitam pashyanti. This is the prose order, Anvay. Those who are sincerely putting efforts, yatantaha yogina, they are able to discover the meaning of the jiva as Brahman, not outside somewhere, but as their own essential nature. Friends, Truth can be recognized only as one's own being. Knowing is being. Being is knowing. You cannot know without being, and you cannot be without knowing. If you know Paramatma other than you will have following problems. Number one, fear. God will do punishment. No, no, no. Fear is not spiritual life. If God is other than me, then all the time asking, oh, do this, do this, do that. No. Third, fear. So desire, anger, fear. This is samsara. Therefore, yatantaha yoginayanam atmani eva avasthitam pashyati. We are not talking about Paramatma somewhere above the clouds. You are that. It is only our scriptures have the courage and guts to tell you are divine. No, 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 Swamiji. No, you are. Whether you want or you don't want, you are divine. Whether you know or you don't know, never mind. You are divine. Hold on to that. But we have this practice, I am sinful, I am unfortunate, I am miserable, I am unlucky. Friends, we are whatever we accept ourselves to be. You accept yourself to be unfortunate, you are. You accept yourself to be the body, yes, you are body. Then associated things with the body will happen to you. You are born, you grow, but you die. No, but I don't want to die. If you accept yourself to be body, you have to die. No option. If you accept yourself to be jiva, then no problem. Go from one life to another life. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani, etc. Continue. See, nobody compels us. A freedom. If you want to be body, suffer. We are with you. If you think you are a jiva soul, go from one life to another life. A good friend of mine, I don't know still there or not, very old. Last time when I met him, he was something 96 or so, yogi. My lecture used to be earlier, and after that, his yoga classes used to be there. So I used to sit with him for half an hour, talk here and there. One day he told me, he said, I can trace my life, many generations, many earlier lives. Then he told about himself. In the last life, I was in Jabalpur. Before that life, I was in Dehradun. Before that life, I was man, I was woman, like that. And he said, in the seventh life, I was a parrot. I can go still further. I can trace back. Very good. He said, I can do for you also if you want. I said, I also know. What is that? Really? Yes. I said, in the last life, I was a donkey. Now also I am a donkey. See, friends, recognize this truth. All these things come and go. You have never come and never gone. Never come means what? You are not born. You have not died. You are not growing. You are ever the same. When a pot is broken and a big pot is made, is the space growing? To come out of this wrong notion, here the teacher says, Yatanto yoginaschainam pashyanti atmani eva avasthitam. So be very attentive. It's a very deep thought. Space is outside the hall, right? Space is inside the hall. So, where is the hall? The hall is in the space, is it not? The inside and outside, is it real? When the walls break, will the inside space go outside? Without space, can the hall exist? No, become subjective. Outside air, inside air. Air is in the both places, isn't it? Outside is inside. Now cut the connection between outside and inside air. How? Do kumbhak. How long? Half an hour. Thereafter, no question. So, like space is outside, space is inside the hall. Therefore, the hall is in the space. In the same manner, air outside, air inside. Therefore, body is in the air. Air is not in the body. Barrier of body identification is smashed out. Go further. This object is outside. When? When it is included in mind. That which is not included in the mind doesn't exist for us. So, the object is outside, it is included in the mind. Where the knowledge happens, like you are seeing me. Where are you seeing me? Inside you or where I am? We never think such dumb things, you know. See, friends, where are you seeing me? Where I am or inside you? You are seeing me in the mind. And the mind is inside as the knower and outside as the known. The same mind, because of the body reference, becomes inside knower and becomes outside known. Suppose something is there which you know, but that object is not in my mind. How will I know? Therefore, mind is the same. The same mind is including the object, and the same mind is knowing the object. Therefore, the body is in the mind. Mind is not in the body. Like when the halls are broken, nothing happens to the space. In the same manner, when the body is destroyed, nothing happens to the mind. Like there are separate bulbs, therefore we see there are separate lights. But the truth is, light is one, bulbs are many. In the same manner, because of the body, there may be many bodies, but mind-wise, we are all one. One earth, one water, one fire, one air, one space, one mind, one life, one consciousness. Yatanto yoginasyainam pashanti atmani avasthitam. Then we come to discover everything is in me, but I am not in anything. Maya tatamidam sarvam jagadam vyaktamurtina masthani sarvabhutani nachaham teshvavastitaha nachamastani bhutani pashyame yogameshwaram Bhuta Bhrunnaja Bhutastaha Mamatma Bhuta Bhavanaha. I, the formless, support all the forms. Therefore, all the forms are in me, but I am not in any of the forms. The space says, all the houses are in me, but I am not in any house. When we thus break the barrier of the illusion of inside and outside, we have transcended the two notions, body identification and the notion that I am a soul. And this happens to every one of us in deep sleep, whether we are inside the body or outside the body, whether we are inside the house or outside the house. Think. And when this illusion of inside outside is redundant, what happens is bliss. And the bliss expresses as snoring. See, my friends, now be attentive. Body identification will happen, but the choice is given. Do we take ourselves to be body or embodied? Second step. Do we take that there is one soul per body, or do we take one alone is expressing through all the bodies? These are the options. Correct your choice and be happy. See, Maharaj. Therefore, simply mechanically when we chant and then get lost into, no, this is said in that Upanishad, in this Upanishad, they don't get lost into that. Come to the moral of the story. This is the moral of the story. Every topic should bring us back to ourselves. Example I gave you Tulsidas ji. Lobhi priya jimidam. For the greedy person, there is no other theme except money, money, money. One stingy person got some bonus. And when you don't have money, you become very cultured. So he was never allowing anything to be done. He used to tell the children, we should not go to hotel, it is not good thing. We should eat at home, because he didn't have money. Then this money came, then one day he said, okay, you all are constantly asking for going to hotel, come on, we will go. And both the kids and the wife, they were surprised. Today, our Kanjus Maharaj is taking us. Wait. And then waiter gave the menu to everybody. Now, don't worry, you will not understand it. Have you ever time gone? I'll tell you what. He took the menu and saw the cost of the items. Listen, get after number 68, 4. Now children are waiting. What comes? Surprise, surprise. And after 20 minutes, 4 Bisleri bottles come. That was the cheapest one. You have gone there to enjoy or save money. See, friends, he cannot think other than money. In the same manner, a spiritual seeker should not think anything but the truth. How much is the commitment of a stingy person to money? Much more than that should be our commitment to the divine. And how should we get committed to the divine? Don't take life too seriously. Don't try to please anybody in this world. Don't try to make anybody happy. God has failed to make us happy. That miserable we want to make others happy. But is it not wrong? We should try to make others happy. I said, no. Why? We belong to democracy. Yes. Everybody has the right to be miserable. Tathastu. Don't waste your time in these wrong things. Then slowly you will be with everyone, and yet you will not be touched by anything. Yatanto yoginaschainam pashyanti atmani eva avasthitam. Now the caution is given. Yatantaha api, those who are sincerely putting effort, akrutatmanaha. Akrutatmanaha means those who are not taken care of their mind. Mind is the same wretched mind. Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, expectation, desires, anger, greed. Akritatmanaha. Therefore, first we have to learn mind your mind. And then this knowledge will happen. It is said, I have not done it, that if you milk a tigress in an ordinary pot, that pot breaks. But if you milk her in a golden pot, then only the pot remains. Now don't take the moral of the story. In the same manner, this knowledge, if it is in a mud pot, it will break. If it is a golden pot, it will remain. Akrutatmanaha. Therefore, friends, first of all, mind your mind. And this is what we are 100 times telling. We must be at peace with ourselves. Let the whole world be on fire. Don't lose your cool. Those who become miserable because of others, they are the fools of the highest order. We should not become miserable because of others. They have got every right. Continue. No. You should not become miserable. क्यों नहीं? हम करेंगे. Don't get lost in that. Yatantaha api akrutatmanaha na enam pashyanti achetasaha. Achetasaha, dull-witted. Such dull-witted people, persons, can never even understand this principle. See, in some of my talks I have mentioned this thing. Here the people gather. First, free Bollywood dance invitation. Second place, hospitals. Third place, temples. Fourth place, gym. First place, maximum crowd. Second place, also big crowd. Third place, also regular crowd. And gym, all the machines are waiting there. Please come. Please come. 20 machines, not even 2 people. And so many freebies are given. 1 month free. You get fresh towel. You will get a cup of juice after this. And yet nobody goes there. Very few people. Why? In the first example, Bollywood, bhogi. Hospitals, rogi. Temples, kami. We don't go to the temple for God. Oh God, do this, do this, do this, do this. And longer the namaskar, longer is the list of desires. And then he gets, oh, forgot one thing. And who goes to gym? He who is healthy and wants to maintain the health. He alone goes to the gym. Our satsanga is like a gym. It is not for those who are all the time, my mother is like that, my husband is like that. You one. How long are we going to cry on that topic? See, recognize that event which has troubled you is the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Arjun Vishada Yogo Nam. Whatever has troubled you, because of that, if you change direction of your life from the dog word to the God word, you have learned the first chapter of Gita. Now focus on this. Therefore, yatantaha api akritatmanaha na enam pashyanti achetasaha, because they are dull-witted. Don't blame anybody in this world. We are 100% responsible for everything that happens in our life. When we will become responsible for our spiritual practice, then understand God's grace is showering on us. ईश्वरानुग्रहात् एव पुंसाम अद्वैत वासना महद भय परित्राणाद विप्राणाम उपजायते. By God's grace only we get attracted towards the Atma Chintan, Vedanta Chintan. Now, to become qualified for this quality of mind or intellect, which can have the ability to inquire. Shurasya dhara nishita duratya durgam pathastat kavayo vedanti. This is not a path for the crowds. It is by the one, to the one, all alone, without becoming lonely in life. This is the path. You won't get crowds. And for that, now exercise is given. How do we practice this knowledge? This starts from the 12th mantra. It's very beautiful. Yadadityagatam tejo jagat bhasayate khilam yachandramasi yachagno tattejo vidhi mamakam gama vishya bhutani dharayamyaham ojasa ushnami chaushadhi sarva सोमो भूत्वा रसात्मकः अहं वैश्वानरो भूत्वा प्राणिनां देहमाश्रितः प्राणापानसमायुक्तः पचाम्यन्नं चतुर्विधं सर्वस्य चाहं हृदि सन्निविष्टः मत्तः स्मृतिर्ज्ञानमपोहनञ्च वेदैश्च सर्वै अहमेव वेद्यः वेदान्तकृद्वेदविदेव चाहम्. Now these few verses, 5 verses, this is the spiritual practice. Starting from verse number 12. This is the practice. First, wherever we see, start suspecting divinity. Suspect. That is what we have got investment, isn't it? We suspect everybody. That fellow is looking at me. I think he has some intention. I am going to the airport. Oh, I hope everything goes all right. Without suspicion, we cannot live. That is our capital. So as regard suspicion is concerned, we are not short of. Invest this suspicion in your spiritual practice. See, one example will make it clear. One of my friend in some place, he had a very big cloth shop, cloth merchant. Morning, he opened the shop and I was staying with him. He says, Swamiji, today you sit in my chair. So I sat there. I said, open the cash box. I said, don't worry, I will not throw it. And then we are just talking here and there. One person was coming from a distance with a typical social worker, pajama, kurta, and a shabnam bag. He looked at it. See, these people, early morning, they come for donation, donation, donation. They work and spend your money. Why take somebody else's donation? I was keeping quiet. देखो सुनो मत बोलो. Then that man came and he said, excuse me, is this the shop of Mr. Madhusudan Junjunwala? Yes. What do you want? This is the number from Calcutta of so and so. He asked me to contact him in my presence. What for? You ask him, I don't know. Is it a number of your friend? Yes, contact him. You contact him. And they spoke. He said, now give me the phone. And he asked, is it the same person to whom you wanted me to give the bank draft of 50 lakhs of rupees? Should I give him? Yes, you can give him. Take it. And then he walked. He said, wait, wait, wait. Please sit down. Have a cup of tea. See? Suspicion is plenty with us, is it not? So invest that, whatever you have. We have no faith. Suspicion we have got. Invest this suspicion. What is suspicion? Yad aditya gatam tejaha jagat bhasayate khilam. Through the sun, God is expressing. I think. Who else can express? Suspect God in sun. Don't seek, suspect. When you suspect, you are fully involved. How beautiful it is. Yad adityagadam tejaha jagat bhasayate khilam. So the divine is expressing through the sun as light. Now if we have to practice this, what we have to do? We have to wake up before the sunrise. Oh God! Many times people go to hill stations. There they go to see the sunrise point. And that day it's cloudy. Now, if you want to see sunlight, a sunrise, you have to learn to get up early in the morning before the sunrise. So, yadadityagatam tejaha jagadvasayate khilam. If you want to respect the sun, you must start your day before the sun rises. Those who come out of the bed after the sunrise, in their next life, they become bed bugs. Khatmal. This is said in Khatmal Mahapuran. So next time you see these bed bugs, Mama, Papa, I'm coming next time. Lazy. Begin your day early morning, friends. The whole day will be lived dynamically, cheerfully. We get out of the bed naturally. Do you know what I mean naturally? Sleep is over. Sleep is never a problem. Coming out of the bed is a problem. So the lag period between coming out of the sleep and coming out of the bed, that lag period is called as wool gathering. And we gather so much of wool, we can make carpets. Not the sweaters, carpets. And during that time, what happens? All the energy that we have acquired in deep sleep by connecting with the divine is slowly, slowly drained out. And then we get out of the bed. I think, what is the time now? 7:28 is not the right time. Let me sleep for 2 minutes more. 7:30 I will get up. And again, oh, it is, 7:42. No, for round figure, we never get out of the bed. And during that time, all unwanted thinking goes on and on and on, and all the energy that we have charged is discharged. And then who comes to our help? The nature's call. And then we get up naturally. Oh God, I do. Such lazy, useless fellows. यदा आदित्य कथम तेजा jagat भासे. Hey friends, this is upasana. Then, yet Chandramasi. But you know, the sun is far away. How can we think of him? Okay, the moon is nearer. It's not hot, it is cool. Very nice. Think of God in the moon. But who can go to the moon? We can't go. Okay, you have got a lighter for your bidi? Yes. Yacha Agnav. Now see, the Lord is coming nearer to us. See him in the sun, nearer the moon, still nearer the fire. See, friends, slowly, slowly, we develop this faculty. Everywhere we start suspecting divine presence. And once we become expert in that, then what happens is the next topic. So, having come in the fire, then he comes in the earth, then he comes in the stomach, then he comes in the heart. Slowly, slowly, he will come. And once we discover him, then, aha, it is possible for every one of us. How, when, where, we'll see it in our next class. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.